How much space do I need between myself and the ball? How far do I need to be to feel comfortable? Most amateur players on the forehand side stand very close after serving and try to take the ball early. This easily leads to problems. And some players stand farther back after serving, but then feel like they can't generate power. So let me ask everyone, when looping against backspin, based on your current habit, we're not judging right or wrong. Do you prefer looping backspin from a bit farther back, with more space? Or do you prefer being slightly closer to the table? Most people prefer being closer. Let me ask another question. Do men generally like standing farther back? And women prefer standing closer? Now let me explain my distance to the ball. Let's say this ball is half long. Look, it lands here first. So why did a player say the other day that they often miss their loops? Like this. Look, the ball slips past the racket. So for all these short balls over the table, you must stay close to the ball to loop it. For example, my backswing here is very small. When the ball goes long, I aim at it to loop. The closer I am to the ball, the higher my success rate. If you move back and swing, it's very easy to miss the ball. So for balls that are short or half long, we should minimize the backswing. Stay as close as possible and apply power late. Apply power in the later phase. This is load first, then explode. This is the ball, this is the racket. I'm very close to the ball, just like pushing or flipping. You use the incoming force, and then apply power late. We can call it late phase power. Don't load power too early. Most table tennis strokes rely on early loading, but some balls don't allow that. For example, think about pushing. No loading. The closer I am, the more confident I am to use power. Because when you finish your backswing and swing forward, the ball has already dropped. There's no arc left. So for short and half-long balls, the key distance in the front-back direction is to stay close. Lock onto the ball and apply late power at contact. Now let's talk about long balls. Watch carefully. The peak of this ball is here. So many amateur players, if they stand too close, they get jammed by a deep push. And there's another common stage, when beginners or weaker opponents push softly. Those balls are easy to loop with any stance. But as your opponents improve, when they start chopping harder, pushing faster and with more spin, if you still stand too close, you'll always feel like you're hitting the ball behind you. So many players tell me, my backspin loop used to be better, now it feels worse. It's very unstable now. That's because the incoming ball quality is higher. We often emphasize basic frameworks and technique. This is closely related to our rhythm, body space, and combined force. Just like I said earlier, the ball comes and your feet don't move. If the angle is wide, you loop like this. If you get jammed or the incoming ball is short, you don't move at all. If it's in the middle, you loop like this. In this situation, you basically can't loop it well. Because everyone focuses too much on the arm motion, and not enough on whether the body position is reasonable. The real core issue seems to be that the position is not right. I think for long balls, it's not good to stand too close, because you can't stand that close. You can't loop while jumping backward at the same time. But you can give yourself a bit more space. Give yourself some room, then move forward. So for amateur players looping, the chance of getting jammed is actually higher than the chance of not reaching the ball. So I think when we move into the forehand position, we should leave at least an arm's length of space. You can measure how far you are from the table. If you can only stand this close, then there's definitely a problem. I think the distance where the forearm and upper arm can fully open is the best distance. At this distance, if the opponent blocks, I can loop directly from here. If the opponent plays a shorter ball, I can step in and loop. As long as you first make sure you're not jammed, you are less likely to make mistakes. If it's a bit shorter, it will naturally be a bit higher. When the ball comes, I can move forward again. But it's almost impossible to jump backward when the ball is already coming. That's nearly impossible. So I think this space. First, the body's distance from the table. Second, the space to fully open up. When I move into the forehand position, I turn and my body faces about 45 degrees. Only then can I properly store power. Even if I stand farther back, my body is still at this angle. You'll notice that when you loop, you're using your peripheral vision to track the ball, and you don't really feel exactly where you're contacting the ball. You don't have that sensation. But look at me storing power here. I can see my contact point. I can feel it. Even though my backswing is here, my contact point is right here. You can feel this very clearly. Once you find the correct position, the hand motion becomes simple. World champions loop every day. They might hit thousands or even tens of thousands of balls. Even when their body position is unreasonable at the limit, they can still hit the ball. But for us, we need to deliberately capture the position very precisely. Consciously look for the right position. And consciously feel where the backswing is. It needs to be more delicate. And it requires continuous reinforcement until it becomes instinct and muscle memory. So after the ball comes, store power and watch the ball. Focus on that contact point and drive through it. Because in this stored power state, you can feel the ball clearly. Whether there's more friction or more impact, whether you go upward or forward, you can feel and adjust it. You can also make adjustments. When I start my backswing, and I see the ball is short, I can move forward, and my body will instinctively follow in. But if you don't feel where your contact point is, you may not realize the ball is short. In fact, it's simply that you're not feeling whether your contact point is accurate. You must open your body. The front back position, where the half long ball is, and where the long ball is,